Welcome to a new episode at Keveri's, and today is a little different. We're gonna compare the most classical way to do asado in Chile versus the way that I have tried it in the United States with American meat. So I'm gonna let you know which one I prefer, and I would love if you can try it yourself in your home. So, well, stay tuned and enjoy this episode. First thing that you will notice is that we have two similar cuts, but very, very different at the same time. These two are New York strip or New York roast, as you can call them. But what's the difference? This one, the more yellow one, is the Chilean one, and it looks like a South American piece of meat. Well, this one is clearly American, more white and with a lot of intramuscular fat. It has a lot of fat. So why is that? It's the way the cow is fed. You know, in Chile and in South America, we have a lot of grass-fed, and that results in less fat, but in a very different flavor. I love it. You have to cook it a little less, so because otherwise it can get a little drier. And this one, well, it's more forgiving. You have a lot of fat, so even if you overcook it, it's gonna be very nice. But the flavor is totally different. And why? Because you have it more on the grain side. You are feeding the cow in a feedlot for a very long time, and that is a different result. A different thing also between Chile and the United States is that also we use less spices. I think that it's because of the grass-fed. We have a more sharper, more stronger taste, I think, than the feedlot cow, but we use just salt and sometimes pepper. And in the US, at least in my experience, you see a lot of rubs, and those can have onion powder, garlic powder, paprika, sugar, salt, so that gives you a totally different experience. And in my opinion, the third most important thing is that, of course, well, in Chile we know what a steak is, but we usually don't cook as a steak. We cook the piece of meat as a whole piece, 3, 4, 5 pounds. Picañas, New York, ribeyes, everything is whole. And in the United States, it's usually a steak. You just do an inch and a half, 2 inches at a higher temperature so you can sear it while cooking it. And both results are incredible, but now we're gonna cook it in a different way in the Keveri H1 so you can see what's the result in each one. The traditional American barbecue starts with steaks and a rub of your choice. For this rub, you need to add salt, a little bit of sugar, ground black pepper, garlic and onion powder, and a little bit of paprika to give just a little bit of color. We generously sprinkle the mixture on both sides. Now we get the steaks into the Keveri H1 in fast grill mode at 700 degrees Fahrenheit for no more than 2.5 minutes per side. In fast grill mode, cuts with this thickness can develop a golden brown exterior. After 5 minutes, they are ready to come out. The traditional Chilean barbecue starts with a whole piece, which we season with just coarse salt and freshly ground black pepper. It doesn't need anything else. We generously sprinkle the mixture on both sides. We take our piece of New York to the Keveri H1 and we set it to cook on the side of the fat in the classic mode until its surface is golden and crispy. This process will take a little bit, so meanwhile we will prepare another staple of the Chilean barbecue, choripan with pebre. First, we take our chorizos or the smoked sausage of your choice to the Keveri H1. Then we will prepare our ingredients for the pebre. We start by chopping the cilantro very finely. Then we cut an onion into small cubes. We do the same with the tomato and add it to the container. We incorporate all the ingredients and season it with salt, black ground pepper, and a splash of olive oil. a little bit of vinegar, and fresh lemon juice. To finish, we cut our green chili, or ají verde, as we call it here, into small cubes that we will add to the pepper. Then we add our bread to the Keveri H1 to warm it up. By now, our chorizos should be ready, so we're gonna remove it from the heat. The choripan is extremely easy to put it together. We put the chorizo inside the bread, we add a little bit of mayonnaise, and then we add a generous amount of pepper. When our piece of meat has an internal temperature of 135 degrees Fahrenheit, we will take it out. Just incredible. So tender, juicy. I love it. The flavor of the rub is also interesting, but the overall, in my opinion, the overall flavor of the beef, it's like butter. It doesn't remind me of meat. It reminds me of butter, and it's very tender. It's very special. It's really, really good. So now I'm gonna try the Chilean version of the New York strip, the most traditional way. The first thing you notice is the crust. You have an incredible crust, probably because of the time it spent cooking, you know. So, okay, two different things. First, texture. Second one, flavor. First one, about texture, I have to admit, the American one is the winner. It's more tender. The feedlot cows are just more tender than the grass-fed ones in most cases. And I love that from the American one. And second one, in terms of flavor, honestly, I don't know if it's because I grew up here in Chile or I don't know, it's the way it is, but I think in flavor it's better the Chilean, South American, or grass-fed more, you know, because you don't have that butter aftertaste, nothing wrong with that, but here I have like a beefy aftertaste, and that's what I'm looking for when I'm cooking, when I'm grilling a piece of steak or a piece of beef, you know. So those are for me the main differences. Now it's up to you, man. Go and try to find some grass-fed and feedlot steaks and try both, and let us know which one you prefer and why. I would love to hear from that. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope also to see you in the next one. Bye.